this video today is going to be on some DIY toilet paper tube toys for guinea pigs or other small pets. So all you will need is toilet paper tubes. I have 4 sitting here. Don't know if I'm going to use them all. But I have more in the guinea pig box. So I have plenty. I also have like 1 paper towel roll with the tube, and you can use those too. I mean, it's the same thing. So our first toy, well, for this one you're going to fold, push in the edges like that. So I'll re-demonstrate it on the other side. You're just going to push it down until it's halfway or over halfway closed, and then you're going to push the other side in as well. So you have this little closed tube, and then you can stuff it with hay or vegetables like dandelion leaves or something. You could either close both ends like I did to challenge your guinea pigs even more and make them chew through, or you can just leave one end open and stuff it with hay or something. Low battery, oops. And then have the other end closed so it doesn't fall out. Or you could open both ends and stuff it with hay, but then I find it falls out even more, which is why I like the both ends closed the best. So that is our first toilet paper tube toy. Okay, next is you take a roll. You're just going to be cutting it so it's going to get smushed. Now I do about 1/2 inch thick rings when I cut this. So you just slice it straight across like that, and then you have a ring, and it's about 1/2 inch wide. So I think I use about 4 of the rings. They don't have to be exactly the same size, and they don't have to be perfect. But I find 1/2 inch rings work best. So I'm just going to cut 4, because I think that's how many I use. So I kind of squish them so that they're not flattened anymore, so they're more circular again. And then what I do is you take 2 and you just put them like this, so that they kind of make a long and skinny X. And then you take another one and you slide it over the first 2, and then you kind of arrange it so that there's a big gap, and then 3 close ones, and then you take your 4th one and you try to slide it over. If it doesn't make the rest of it fall apart. This is kind of a delicate one where if you don't do it just right, it can really easily fall apart. But I've made some that have actually been quite sturdy. So I mean, it really just depends on the width of the rings and all that good stuff. So now I just have this ball. I can either just throw this in there just how it is, or I can fill it with veggies or hay. But my guinea pigs are pretty good about making it fall apart right away. But they will still chew on the toilet paper tube part even after it's fallen apart. They'll still play with it. So there's just a little toilet paper tube ball of rings. Alright, so this little chunk I have left over from that, I'm going to make sort of a spiral that I hook on the side of the cage that they like to chew on. So you're going to start by cutting, I can't really do this, an angled cut into it, and then you're going to start cutting. You're going to want to stay, I stay about in between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch away from the side once I start cutting, because then that will give it this good spiral effect. So you're just going to cut the whole way down, staying about between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch away from the top that this is being cut off of. Once you reach the end, or close to the end, if you get lazy, then it's just going to eventually, see how it's almost off the other edge? See, this is the edge I'm staying 1/2 of an inch away from, and then this is just the other edge that I'm cutting towards. So eventually it's just going to snip off. See here, I'll just snip off the edge, and then there, now it's no longer connected, and then, so that's just a little spiral. You can either just throw it in the cage like this, but what I like to do is hook it to the side. I usually hook it to their water bottle if it was longer, but this one I think I'll hook to their hay rack. Since I don't actually have any wire around my cage, since it's just Coroplast. So I'll show you I'll show you them playing with all these new toys. Okay, so here's the spiral. I just kind of wove it in and out of this part of the hay rack. So I just hooked this on there, and they don't eat out of the middle part because they can't really stick their faces in it. So I just put it there, and then they eat out of this end and that end. Since there's two of them, they can both eat at the same time. So there's that toy. I'm not even going to put the other toys in there. But that's how I attach that one. So now a quick side note, something that I did since I never know if people feed them their veggies or not. This morning I made this chart for each day of the week, and then if they fed them a carrot and lettuce or some other sort of vegetable or fruit, then they can write it right there. And then if they swept the cage for the day, and then if they changed the liner, it's K if they changed the kitchen liner, L if they changed the living room liner, and then B if they changed both. So we just started this chart today, so the rest of the week we just left blank because we'll start that next week. But then I wrote down that my sister did change both yesterday of the cage lines. Oh look, she's nibbling on it. Hazelnut came up. She flipped it around. I don't know what she did, but she's chewing on the other end. Well, that's good. Maybe I'll hook this other end through here. It's kind of just looped around all weirdly, but she's chewing on it. That's good. Good job, Hazel. Oh, and then eating some hay. Hay's good too. So anyway, they can just cross off if they fed them a carrot. I fed them both a carrot and a lettuce so far today. And then as the day goes on, if they feed them something else, they can just write down what it was. Actually, they would write it down in the box because we wouldn't feed them the same thing every day. So they just write down what they fed them in this little box for the day. And that's for every single day of the week. So I thought, now I don't have to go around asking people if they fed them or not. I can just know. And then hay and pellets are a 24/7 kind of thing. So if it's empty, you just fill it up. So don't really need to have that on a chart. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I do have a couple of quick shout outs to say to my 3 contest winners that I promise you shout outs in my videos. So the first shout out goes to Bear Glop. I'll have all these links in the description to their channels. So Bear Glop, Love My Pets 1, 2, 3, 4, and Playful Piggies. Playful Piggies did win first place in my contest. I will have links to all their channels in the description box below, so please go check out their channels. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye!